And the pitch lifted in the air, left center field, well struck, back to the wall. Goodbye to the people, into the hog pen. And one big swing from Hudson White has made it 3-0 Razorbacks. Sprague-Lott drives one in the air to left field. When this one lands, the Razorbacks will be back in front. Into the hog pen. Their second homer of the game, and Jared Sprague-Lott takes Cal Stephen deep. .421 feet to the people. Bases full of Razorbacks. A liner to left. It's down. It'll score two. Arkansas has taken a 7-5 lead. Hudson White plays hero again. Oh, it's a beautiful night at Baumwalker Stadium. Opening game of this three-game SEC set between Mississippi State and Arkansas. Hey, Coach Cal is making some friends on the concourse this evening. I bet he can't walk 2 feet without being stopped.
About 300 photos on the concourse.
He threw out the first pitch in the last home series, and I would say he threw a strike.
Yeah, looked really good.
Peyton Stovall is going to lead off the bottom of the fourth against Cal Stephen. Stovall, Sprague-Lott, and Aloy. Arkansas has just one hit, State a pair of hits, and this is very much a Friday night pitching matchup in this conference. And Stovall to line softly to short. His previous time in, pops one up, and Kohler at third. Had to stagger a bit, but he made the catch. And listen, Arkansas's offense has been the elephant in the room, if you will, the topic of conversation for a team that has been number one for a chunk of this year. And Troy, you mentioned this team in SEC-only games hitting .240, and the only teams below that are Florida and Missouri. But you know what really kind of jumps out at me? Mississippi State's 34 points higher in batting average in league games than are the Razorbacks, but really I think it's with runners on base and runners in scoring position where it starts to get a little bit murky as Sprague-Lott bats. For example, with runners on base in the SEC, Arkansas is hitting .230, State's hitting .325.
Wow.
With runners in scoring position, Arkansas is hitting .195, State .332. That one's out there to left center field. Dakota Jordan circled around it, played it on the bounce. And Sprague-Lott with the one-out single, the second base hit for the Razorbacks tonight. So they don't have a runner in scoring position yet, but they do have a runner on base.
Really good swing by Sprague-Lott, but what a great play by Dakota Jordan. You can see his athleticism right here. Off the bat, you're thinking, okay, that ball's going to be a double for Jared Sprague-Lott. Look at Jordan get around that baseball and get it in a hurry, and that could be a run-saving play in this inning.
Next in is Vahiva Aloy. Went down on strikes back in the second, swung at a pitch at his eyes, and Cade against Cal Stephen. But Troy, when you're hitting .195 with runners in scoring position compared to .332 for State, I mean, that is a light years difference in numbers.
It really is, and it just shows that it just puts that much more pressure on Arkansas to produce when they do get runners in scoring position.
All right, that was my question for you. Everybody wants to be the guy who kind of gets the big hit to win a game, to help win a series. Do you feel that as an individual, the pressure, the stress of understanding that your team is not hit as well as they're capable of, certainly with runners on base or in scoring position, and maybe that becomes a thing, a mental block?
I really think so. You always hear about, like, hitting's contagious. I think it goes the other way as well. And then whenever you're struggling as a team, you don't feel like maybe I've got to do it because the guy behind me may not.
Vahiva's going to take a big wave and a miss. I know it's not a popular opinion because Arkansas, in some of their glory years, they're going to hit a lot of home runs, and this can be an offensive ballpark at this time of the year. I know when you get to a regional or a super regional, if the Razorbacks don't homer and lose, the uproar is, well, you got to be able to score outside of homers. You have to be able to win games when you're not hitting home runs. And yet I kind of reversed that thought as Aloy's going to wave and miss. This team is not hitting homers. They're 13th in the conference in slug. It's really hard on these nights to get 3 or 4 hits in an inning, and when you're not hitting the long ball, it's going to be hard to score.
It really is, and the quality pitching is so good, and that's why you've seen Hagen Smith win 1-0, 2-1. Those really nail biters.
Hey, Steven threw that same pitch to Aloy to see if he might chase again. He did not. 2-2.
So we saw Arkansas run with a Ryder Helfrich at first. Still just a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
Steven, the pause, set at his belt. And here's the pitch to Aloy. Hard hit. It's off the tip of the glove on a bounce by Mershon. Sprague-Lott can only move up 90 feet. 99 off the bat of Aloy. He's got a brand new Dragon bat he broke out today, and it's got a base hit. Arkansas with a pair of runners on base in this fourth.
Well, that ball is just scorched by Vahiva Aloy. Not quite up in the zone as much as his last strikeout, and that's a ball that Mershon almost gets to. It's one of those plays that if you're a State fan, you wish Mershon was about 6'3".
That's right. Well, we're going to put these numbers to the test because Arkansas does indeed have a runner in scoring position for McLaughlin. He struck out his only time in. And the pitch from Steven. Lifted to center, Jordan pursuing. He's got plenty of room shy of the track. He's going to make the catch. Sprague-Lott is going to tag. He's going to go to third. The throw's offline. Arkansas now has runners on the corners, but 2 outs in the fourth inning.
McLaughlin jumping that first pitch, hit it fairly well, but again, just another fly ball out. That's what that man does right there in Cal Steven. I think that was a late decision. Sprague-Lott looked over at third base coach Nate Thompson, kind of looking, hey, should I tag? And he's like, yeah, you can make it. I think that's a good move. Now that keeps, not that Cal Steven spikes a lot of pitches, but again, it's one little extra thing in the back of your mind knowing there's a runner at third base.
Hudson White takes one at the top of the zone for strike one, says Scott Klein, and this is where this crowd becomes a bit of a factor. They're not afraid to ride these umpires calling balls and strikes. White popped up to Pulliam at second, his only time in. White's going to wave and miss, and quickly down 0-2. And sometimes I think this deep in the year, you are what you are. Your season is what it is, and you wonder if somebody can find that spark. If somebody's going to do it, many think it could be White. And he's behind in the count here. And that one's in the dirt to the backstop. And Sprague-Lott will score the first run on a wild pitch, and the Razorbacks have a 1-0 lead.
Ran right on cue. How big was that tag up and moving from second to third base by Jared Sprague-Lott? That was all Nate Thompson, the third base coach, telling him to come on. And that's just not trying to hang a breaking ball right there. Sprague-Lott just breaks easily, scoring right there. Just a breaking ball that was spiked by Cal Steven.
And White will foul one back. I'll take you to that outing that Arkansas had at South Carolina. They had a 2-1 win a couple of weeks ago in a Hagen start. Arkansas scored a run on a sac fly and a wild pitch. They didn't even get a run scoring hit to win a game.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to get a little bit lucky.
Next one on the way to White. He hammers one a mile foul. Turned on that pitch that was in and smoked it down the line into the seats.
Well, Hudson White has not seen anything straight so far. It's been 4 straight breaking balls by Cal Steven. See if he doesn't just try to climb the ladder right here with a fastball.
Sure he's not separated at birth from Hagen Smith with that close-up? And the pitch lifted in the air, left center field, well struck, back to the wall, goodbye! To the people, into the hot pen! And one big swing from Hudson White has made it 3-0 Razorbacks.
Really big swing.
On opening day, Troy, and didn't homer again until this past weekend, but maybe he's found that long ball stroke.
Yeah, just a really big swing by Hudson White. I think that's a fastball that Cal Steven normally throws up out of the zone. That's at the top of the strike zone. Hudson White knew it when he hit it. Just a little bit of breeze blowing out. Nothing's going to knock that one down tonight. About 408 on the distance on that home run.
And it brings up Helfrich, who singled in his last at bat. And again, at that monthly luncheon, and DVH is nothing if not forthright. I think people like it. I think they enjoy it, the players. And he said about White, he's starting to hit. He paused and he said, finally.
Yeah, they thought they had a really good hitting catcher in Hudson White.
Helfrich gets one a mile in the air, and this one will bend and be back in the seats and not a play.
But that last fastball to Hudson White that was hit out of the park, again, a little bit higher is where Cal Steven normally throws that pitch that you just can't catch up to. Caught just a little too much of the plate.
He had 11 last year in home runs at Texas Tech, and Helfrich will foul one back, another play. Keep in mind, sometimes White will catch Hagen Smith because they were on the same youth ball teams together, but Hudson wasn't trying to catch him then. He was out at shortstop watching Hagen Smith work. Hey, that gorilla in the dugout hasn't had much activity lately. Usually the home run hitter puts on a gorilla mask and he grabs the gorilla. He's been a lonely gorilla lately. Helfrich hits one high in the air to left. I don't think Chance saw it right away. He comes sprinting on and will make the catch to end the inning. So Arkansas able to break through a bit in the fourth inning. Got a run on a 2-out wild pitch. And then Hudson White with a 2-run bomb. Hagen, there's your runs. I'm sure someone's saying that.